Hello, my fellow humans. Welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. Today we are going to ask what good fortune is your glow up bringing. I do want to say really quickly thank you to any and all who continues to be a supportive part of this channel. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you, and it means so much that you continue to be here. For those of you that are new, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Remember that these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not. And make sure that you do like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all of those links in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading, and I'll get you out further information from there. You may follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is on Spotify. And if you're interested in becoming a member, when you click the link in the description box, it will take you to a page that shows you the 3 options that I have, as well as what comes with each option. So I do hope to see you over on memberships. If not, thank you for your continued support here. So let us go ahead and get to it. This is a second part to a reading that was posted last week, and that was what's the gossip on your glow up. So now we're really going to dive into what is this glow up bringing into your life, okay? So let's go ahead and get this prayer underway. Okay, my beloved sources, prayers for any and all who come on to this reading, whether it's for the entire time or for a moment's time. So many of us have been on this journey for such a long time, and we're wondering, when are we going to visualize and actualize the fruit of our labors? And we understand that divine timing is everything, and that it's all in your plan and it's all in your time. And sometimes that's hard for our human minds to comprehend because it already feels like it's taken so long. But I ask that with this reading you bring us clarity that our hard work is going to be bringing something amazing into our lives, more than just monetary gain, looking for fulfillment and contentment, and knowing that we have healed so much from our journey and released so much from our path. And in doing so, that we're freeing ourselves from the blockages and the patterns that may have followed our lineage for generations, that we are leaving that in the dust and knowing that we get to create this here now here moment simply by choosing to unbecome and uncover our deepest selves. May any and all who aren't aware of what their path is become aware of that and walk in the state of highest path love and highest light love, so that they may become a true embodiment of unconditional love, which is bringing us closer to this awareness of our ability to manifest, our ability to change, and our ability to embrace what being human is as a soul here experiencing this human experience. As these words are spoken unto this space and onto this reading, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and get that set up over here. Okay, so today we are going to use, and I didn't have them ready, but I do have them here, the Cosmic Soul cards. If you're wondering, I have to fold this up so that I can shuffle. I just have the camera at a different angle right now. Yeah, so let's get these shuffled real quick. One more. All right. Perfect. Okay, so source for pile number 1. What Cosmic Soul card will help us better understand the good fortune that their glow up is bringing for pile number 1? What Cosmic Soul card will help us better understand the good fortune their glow up is bringing? Thank you. For pile number 2, Source, what cosmic oracle card will help us better understand what good fortune that pile number 2's glow up is bringing? Okay, thank you. And for pile number 3, Source, what cosmic oracle card will help us better understand what pile number 3's glow up there is bringing them, the good fortune that it's bringing them, Source, for pile number 3. For pile number 3. Okay, they want that one. Thank you, Source. On the bottom, look, we have number 33, master number, Source coming in, the number of creation, your angels are with you, good things are coming, the gestation period, right? And we have transformation. So there is definitely transformation is in the works, right? So let me go ahead and get this set up here. Make sure we're in frame. Okay. For pile number 1, we have this beautiful shell for you to choose from. Pile number 2, we do have this beautiful fossil for you to choose from. Okay. And pile number 3, we have this beautiful shell for you to choose from. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and whichever one you're drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And with that being said, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful shell right here, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on what good fortune is your glow up bringing. We'll check that out in a little bit. First thing, I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey and this channel. I'm so honored to be sharing this time in this space with you. For those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we are all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Keep in mind they are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find every link that you need below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading and I'll get you out further information. You can follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio on Spotify. And you can also join as a member. When you click the link in the description box, it will take you to the intro page that will show you what options are available as well as what comes with each option. So I do hope to see you on memberships. If not, thank you so much for your continued support here. So let us go ahead and hop into it. Really quickly, I do want to mention that this is a part 2 to a reading I posted last week, which was what is the gossip about your glow up. So this time we're actually going to really dig into what the glow up is bringing you. Okay, so Source, for pile number 1, what can you tell us about the good fortune that pile number 1's glow up is bringing them? What good fortune is pile number 1's glow up bringing them, Source? What good fortune is pile number 1's glow up bringing them? Okay, so we do have Taurus, the 12th house, and Jupiter. So a lot of luck. A lot of luck. Also, it looks like you're about to open up to some psychic abilities that maybe you had a feeling about, maybe you didn't. So for some, there's a knowing that they were there. And for others, there's this kind of like, I had no clue that I was actually like that, which I've been there. I didn't know I was a psychic medium until one day. I had always thought I was, but I didn't really know because I had denied it for so long. And so when it hit me, it was just a surprise. So for some of you, they're saying this is going to be a surprise coming into your life, okay? And I actually had a daily dice that talked about this as well. So if you keep an eye out on the daily dice, they kind of play off the readings. So just letting you know. Here we do have, though, with the 12th house, this is opening up to what was once hidden, what was once seen as confusion, an illusion. And it's bringing it into this reality with the Taurus energy. This is something you're actually going to be able to stand very firmly on top of. Like, there's no questioning it now, right? Not only is it going to bring you abundance, confidence, clarity, and understanding, understanding, it's going to make you feel very fulfilled. And if you didn't catch it at the beginning, definitely catch the prayer, because I love how this plays off the prayer that I had as well. Here we show that it's something that's beyond our physical viewing, right? The 12th house is connected, if I can talk, connected to Neptune energy. And Neptune is the planet of illusions, or just not being clear, right? Something where we have a lot of fear, there's a lot of secrets, there's a lot of unconscious thoughts and feelings and emotions and hidden desires there. It's where we actually experience a lot of our healing as well as our spirituality and being able to connect with gifts and talents and skills from past lives, if you believe in that. If not, these are just gifts, skills, and talents that you were born with in this life that have just been covered up. Right? So whatever you believe is fine. What I'm saying is that that's exactly what the 12th house hints at, is this hidden wisdom and knowledge that got buried under years of grief and torment and betrayals and heartbreak and hurt and suffering is now coming to surface here with the Taurus energy. You see that all of a sudden it has so much tenacity in your life. Like, it just comes out of nowhere. Right? But it's actually because of why I'm saying that is because it's because of your healing process. You have shown up. You have a lot of resolve when it comes to your healing. And so this comes in swinging like a bat out of Memphis. I don't know what's happening right now, but let's go with it. And it's something that it's going to materialize, but there is going to be resistance met with it, because it's going to be like, whether you're questioning yourself or your abilities, it's what I keep feeling here is like your glow up is going to have you questioning yourself in a way that you'd never questioned yourself quite before. Like, you can't deny the truth and what's coming through. You can't deny that this is something that you know will take you to the ends of this life. You can't deny that, but at the same time, that very human part of yourself is going to come through and be like, wow, like, is this real or am I dreaming? And it's going to be like, Source is so tired of you saying, am I dreaming? But not really like tired. Like, Source never gets tired of us, but this is the best way to describe it. Like, Source gets tired of you saying, am I dreaming? This Source is like, okay, let me prove it to you how good you are. And that's exactly what happens here, is that Source comes through the woodworks and says, okay, we're going to make sure that you don't question this. We're going to make sure that you don't resist this. We're going to make sure that you have everything that you need to know that this is something that is healthy and good for the betterment of your soul and your soul purpose, your life purpose. I'm going to fold up the mat so that I can shuffle the cards, and we'll get some cards on it. We're going to get to the nitty gritty, okay? So, yeah, look. I split the deck. We have the Ace of Cups with the Two of Cups. This is a gift from Source that's going to fulfill you emotionally in ways that you didn't know you could be fulfilled. Like, if you've always wanted to be loved or had a relationship, it's not that you're getting that. You could very well be, but this is like helping you learn how to love yourself on a deeper level than you've ever loved yourself before. And it's like, you're so amazed by yourself. And I'm laughing because it's so cute. Like, it's like when somebody sees you and is so amazed by you, you know, you're like, oh, that's cool that someone else is so amazed by me, but that's you. Now it's like you're seeing yourself through the eyes of what people have seen about you all along. Not the bad stuff, the really good stuff. Like, you get to witness that. Like, you're like, oh, I really am good at this. Like, what the heck? How did this happen to me? Like, it's not how it happened to you. It's just finally coming out of the woodworks. It's just really coming to light. And that's the good fortune that your glow up is bringing, is an abundance of confidence, of clarity, of optimism. Like, you're no longer going to be able to question your talents, your skills, your abilities. Okay, so let's get some cards on it, Source. What good fortune is pile number one's glow up bringing them? Okay, they want one more, thank you. But it is hidden. Yeah, they're showing me, once again, this is something that's hidden from you. So we might not be able to get down to exactly what it is that's coming through, but we'll be able to kind of get an overall of what's going on. My apologies for shaking the camera, but wow. Okay, it wants to come that way. What good fortune is pile number one's glow up bringing them? Thank you, Source. Right out. Let's get to it. Source is like, I'm ready to talk about this. Let's get it. Yeah. Oh, I love this already. With the Knight of Wands on the bottom, just showing like what good fortune, confidence like none other. Like, you're that idea of not being able to question yourself. This is not being arrogant. Okay, this is like truly believing in yourself. That was always your Achilles heel, was not being able to believe in yourself. That was what was keeping you small and in a box and unable to shine. And so what actually happens here is that you become confident with your abilities and yourself, and your confidence is what brings on the glow up. Okay, so it's basically your glow up brings confidence in a way that's never been there before. Like, you're no longer going to be wondering, like, oh my gosh, like, what do people think of me? Like, all those people that had something negative to say about you, you're just like, wow, now I know why they were being negative. It's because they were trying to keep me small, and there is no keeping this type of light small. There just isn't. Like, you have a purpose, and as much as you have a mission to accomplish, and Source is like, I'm not going to let you shirk your mission. That's not going to happen here. So there's a lot of confidence and clarity and understanding about who you are, and no longer are you going to sit here thinking like, I have to make my light small for another person to feel better. Like, you're just so engulfed in your own light that it's like, everybody deserves this gift of me. And again, it's not an arrogant type thing. It's like, yeah, that's right, I am. No, it's not that energy. It's just like, no, I understand what Source is trying to tell me all along, with Spirit, God, whatever it is you call it. It's like, I understand what they were trying to tell me all along, was that I'm a gift to this earth, and I had to see myself as that gift first in order to understand what I was giving to everyone else. So what do we have here? Yeah, we have the Two of Wands. We have the Six of Swords in the reverse, and we have the Four of Wands in the reverse. Here's the deal. Like, they're showing here, you have a choice. This is your crossroads. You can choose to believe all those people who don't want to see you rock the boat. They don't want to see you tip the apple cart. They don't want to see you go and become something. You can believe all of those people who broke your heart. You can believe all those people who made you feel small. Or you can choose confidence. You can choose to believe in yourself this time. So you have a choice. Your glow up is actually bringing with it the choice of two roads. And I want you to know, pile one, there's no right or wrong here. You can choose whatever you're most comfortable with. But Source is really trying to nudge you into this direction of believing yourself completely. Believing who you are. There's a lot of action here. Right? This is you having an option, and this is you walking in your strength and in your confidence. But you see here, you still are dealing with the mindset that's been left behind of people who broke your heart. The Four of Wands in the reverse here. This is like romantic frustration, yes, but what's really coming from this are the actions that people took that left your heart shattered on the curb. this life that you've lived has not been without its hardships. This life that you have experienced has not been without its grief and its suffering. And we see that with the 12th house here. We absolutely see that coming through. But all that stuff has ever done to you is left you feeling like you didn't have a place here. And Source is saying, I gave you life for purpose. I didn't give you life just so that you could suffer and be small. I gave you life so that in spite of your suffering, you could still choose to shine the love of your light out into the world. And that's so powerful. So incredibly powerful. And that's what Source wants you to embrace. That's what Source wants you to really embody, is that energy. And it hasn't been easy. And part of it not being easy means that when you get to where you're going, right, accomplishing your goals, seeing your dreams become a reality, you're not going to take it for granted. Like, you're going to really truly appreciate it in a way that you haven't before, right? You're starting to move forward. You're actually the one that's prodding yourself to move forward. Even though Source is giving you the nudge, like, you're the one who's doing it, right? You know that the future that you have, the future that you want, brings with it everything that you've ever dreamed of. Love, laughter, friendship, family, everything that you want. Security, stability, financial security, financial freedom, not having to worry about all the earthly things, rather just letting yourself live and be and let live. And that's what's coming with it. You have different options to choose from here, and I feel like you're going to have an encounter with someone here going their own way, and it's some way, shape, or form like you're going to see either a reflection of yourself and your past, and you're going to be like, wow, I've come so far, and that gives you this leg up of realizing just how much you've overcome, and it's going to help you really overcome that fear that you have within yourself that's been holding you back, okay? Another thing is here is that you've been lacking that fighting spirit because you're always wondering, when are things going to change for the better, right? So we have that here, but I feel like what your glow up is really bringing is this sheer confidence, controlled creativity. You know exactly what you want to create, and you go about making it happen. And it has happened through how many times things haven't moved forward. What do I mean? It's this energy of, you've had so many stalemates, you've had so many mishaps, you've had so many crossroads, and it's like you feel like you're always choosing the wrong crossroads, but you haven't. It's brought you all up into this minute, and you have this choice to choose yourself. And so your glow up is going to lead you to an abundant soul. Okay, and an abundant soul, even though everybody wants financial gain, like I feel like that's the only thing that people want from a glow up is financial gain. I just want my financial gain. When am I going to get my finances? When am I going to become a millionaire? But we have to work so hard on our internal selves before any of that becomes a reality. And that's exactly what's happening here. You're going to find clarity and understanding about your emotional well-being, that you deserve what it is that you're asking for. And in turn, you're going to understand that you were also letting off red flags, but for yourself, not knowing what they were for yourself, right? Self-sabotage. And this is just the opportunity to go into a new beginning, right? It's a hidden, but we see that it's a new beginning where you're going to have financial stability. So your glow up is going to bring financial stability, but the first thing it has to bring through is confidence like no other. We have a lot of Aries and Sagittarius energy here. It's a lot of fiery energy, a lot of burning away the old, okay? So you are going to go through a spiritual awakening before you receive your financial gain. And that may sound disheartening to some, but understand how powerful this is, because this is coming at a time where I feel like you're ready to just throw in the towel and give up. And Source is like, hold on just a little bit longer, because the next step is going to take you so much farther, so much faster than anything that you've ever expected before. So let's get some oracle and see what more it'll tell us, what your good fortune, your glow up is bringing, right? On the bottom, look, I cannot make this up. Chiron, the hurt and heal. This is the wounded warrior or the wounded healer. It depends on how you look at it. This card really does talk about dealing with some of the darkest pains that we've been through. Right? It's like letting go of the victim mindset. And not that that's a bad thing. It's just that it holds us back from embracing our reality in so many ways. Like we have Peregrine Falcon, wow, I can talk. Peregrine Falcon flipping over here, seize the moment in life and love or lose it forever. That's exactly what the wounded healer within you was keeping you from doing. It was keeping you from seizing the moment. Seizing the moment to see yourself through eyes of unconditional love, right? We have Hanging Parrot, gain knowledge by surrendering to the universal flow. So you're opening up your heart and you're letting source become an energy that's channeled through you on this journey. Let's get one of these. Okay, thank you. Be authentic, be real and true to who you are and how you feel. You've been working towards authenticity, but you know, it's like a process to become authentic. It's not something that we do overnight. It's not something that happens at one go. It's something that happens over time. And so what's really truly going on here is you're learning to be truly authentic to yourself. Forget everyone else. This is not about everyone else. We see it's all about you becoming truly authentic to yourself and no longer having a weak link within your spirit, connecting with your soul. This is your path of purpose. Really unlocking a part of yourself that's felt like it's been missing. Like having this innocence that has been taken away from you, return. Being able to have a sense of play and fun and pleasure again. Right? Coming into your promise. Like this is the promise. This is you uncovering your right. Right? What was rightfully yours since birth. The gift that was always promised to you. And that's truly happiness. I feel like we've got it so disconnected that, you know, in this life we're like, oh, it's all about money. It's all about money. It's all about material. It's all about these things. And for me to bring it up here, it's not that that's going to resonate with everyone, but there's someone who needs to hear that as a reminder that there's so much more abundance found in spiritual health, mental health, physical health, and emotional health than there is in what finances can bring you. Because if you're empty on the inside, no matter how much money you have, you'll still be empty on the inside. So your glow up is bringing a sense of fulfillment like none other. And we've gotten that this whole time. And it is coming in the way of some sort of talent, some sort of creative ability, some sort of gift that you've been given since birth, but maybe it's just been you never pursued because of judgments, because of other people and what they had to say. Like we have dreamed the world into being. This is setting you directly on your path of purpose. Okay, let's get one of these and then I will get a shadow aspect. But wow, hello, can I hold these cards? Thank you. The future. Plan for the future while living in the present. You are always supported by spirit. Your psychic abilities can bring you prosperity. I cannot make this up. Look, and it's interesting. I don't always bring out my crystal ball, but today I did. I put it on there. You can barely see the stand, but I don't know if you can see it. My crystal ball has an owl and a moon on it. And so it's like interesting because that's what that made me think of here. So I feel like I brought that out for this reading. It was here. It was meant for it. We have innovation. You will need to come up with new strategies to keep your plans in motion. Old ways are outdated. Invent, create, and test ideas. So again, creative. A new creative way to see yourself and to move forward. Let's get a shadow aspect for this reading source about what pile number one's good fortune is coming from their glow up. What is a shadow aspect that's being presented in this reading? Thank you. The dark side. Your dark side keeps you from enjoying the love you have. Don't let it steal your joy. And that makes so much sense, right? running away from ourselves because of fear, because of what other people have said, whatever it may be. We have Capricorn, ambition, realism, and methodical steps. And this goes back to what I was saying. You've been doing this for a long time, right? The sands of time are forever against you is what I keep hearing. But it's a mental state that we have within ourselves. And so no longer are you going to be held or bound or constricted by time. Instead, you're going to start manipulating time and making it work for you. So this is really truly a gift of being able to manifest and manipulate the physical world, which is our goal. And I said this in a daily dice as well. It's like weird to use that idea of manipulation, but that's really what we do when we believe in ourselves so unconditionally. We can really manifest what we want by manipulating the particles around us. Practice compassion. See things from a fresh perspective. Look, I can't make this up. They're being clear, even with the love deck coming in, seeing things anew, making a choice for yourself, letting go of the old. That's what your glow up is bringing. But you have a choice to step into this glow up. We all do, right? We all do. So the choice is forever yours. And whatever you choose, just know that it's not wrong. Songlines with Orca, letting go of the past. There's something that happened to you in your childhood that's been weighing you down, that's been keeping you stuck and stagnant, and feeling like you don't deserve what it is that you're asking for. And this is what you're letting go of. Dreamtime creation, yeah. You are dreaming your world into existence. You're creating something. And it's weird because I was just going to talk about, if you didn't see the shuffle, we got the number 33 card on the bottom. And this is what, for some reason, the 30 card made me think of that. And we were talking about 33 as being the number of creation, gestation, your angels and guides are with you. Like, it's a very creative number. And then Dreamtime creation came out right next to it. Turn knowledge into wisdom. Yeah, you already know what you need to do. Now you just have to go towards it. And then on the bottom, yeah, hard. I'm not surprised this came out. Things are just difficult. You need space to sort out what your feelings, to know what to do. So they're acknowledging that where you're at right now, it's hard. It is hard, but it's for purpose, because diamonds can only be formed under pressure. Now I have that song in my head. Under pressure. Is that Queen? I think it is. Dung 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 dung. Dung, 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 dung. Under pressure. So you're being formed under the pressure of the hardships that you've been through. Okay? And even though it feels like, it's like, is it ever going to take a break? Is it ever going to stop? It's like Source just wants you to begin to embrace the journey as it is. Like, fall in love with the process. Not the end result. Fall in love with the now process, this moment here, and this moment as you go through, even if it is difficult, because that's going to bring you into the state of knowing exactly what to do to move away from these constructs, these ideas that have been keeping you from manifesting. And that's exactly what's coming with your glow up. When you choose to do this, your glow up is going to bring you into a new place psychically, where you're going to have gifts that blow everybody's minds. So let's take a look at your Cosmic Soul card and see what we... Look, I'm done. I'm over it. What? Oh, this is so phenomenal. Like, I just can't sometimes with Source. And as you all know, like I said, one day I'll do a live so I can show you my process right before I prep for a reading, but I never look at the cards. Like, sometimes they flip over while I'm shuffling, but they did not today, and so I had no idea what these cards were. And when I start, I always go through this ritual right before I start the reading. I just never put that on because of the length that it takes me to go through it. But I never read the cards, and so when I flip them over, and it's like that, choices. Like, they've been very clear. The Two of Wands came out showing choices, and I kept hearing choices. Like, you have a choice. It was like going through. It's just amazing. Like, I feel like that's exactly what they're trying to show here is, and then the AC turned off, is that your psychic abilities are growing greatly, right? All right, so let's read this card, see what it says. All right. Exactly. Can you see this? This card is so beautiful. It just feels like a phoenix. It's like so amazing. It says, to make your decision, ask yourself which experience best allows my soul to grow. If this card has come to you, you've come to a crossroads in your life where choices and decisions need to be made. This period can be quite challenging as you weigh your options. Your mind tells you one thing, yet your heart feels differently. The mind, with all its logic, reinforces your core beliefs in what is safe and secure with creature comforts and stability. Your heart, on the other, pushes you to explore possibilities and adventures that seem all too foolish and irresponsible to the mind. Dearest one, your soul longs to grow, evolve, and expand to higher states of consciousness. Your heart knows this, and as it is the guiding force within you. The mind is the vehicle that assists you in getting you where your heart needs to go. Are you growing in your current situation, whether it is in a relationship or a working environment, or does spirit have to bring outside influences such as changes in your work environment or a new friendship that causes you to review your current relationship? If it is external influences that are pulling at your heartstrings and not your current situation, then it's pretty clear that the place you are in is not serving your highest good. It may be serving you on a physical creature comfort level, but your heart and soul needs more. You need to be challenged and pushed to make breakthroughs. Why play it safe? You have one life to live, and the mission isn't to be too cautious. Our goal is to grow and expand. Closing doors in your life may not be easy, but trust your heart and your inner guide that you are being taken somewhere beautiful. You are not alone. Divine guidance surrounds you continuously. Your affirmation is, I'm courageous as I listen to the guidance from my heart, and this is associated with both the solar plexus and the heart chakra. This is absolutely an incredible reading. Like, they're acknowledging that where you're at is difficult. It's karmic stuff that you're going through. Like, you're letting it go, you're transforming it so that you can enjoy the future that you want, but you have to make those changes in the present. They're not going to change in the future. So right now, they're being very clear that your glow up is bringing with it the psychic understanding of what you need to do in this moment to make the best choices to embrace the future that you desire. And part of that comes with the confidence and the clarity of how powerful you are as a spiritual being here on this human experience. Okay? So I love this reading. This is actually a very beautiful reading, very in-depth. And so if you feel like this is your reading here, leave a music note down below and say, I make the choices that bring me into vibration with my highest path of purpose. Leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this amazing message. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful fossil, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on what good fortune is your glow up bringing you. Keep in mind that these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what does not. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links necessary in the description box to do so. And you can email me for your personal reading. I'll get you out further information from there. You may follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. And if you're interested in becoming a member, there's a link below in the description box. When you click on that, it'll show you the levels I have available as well as the options that come with each level. Quickly, I do want to say thank you so much to those of you that are continuing to support this channel and be a part of this amazing journey with me. I'm so honored to be sharing this space and time with you. For those of you that are new, thank you for being here. Welcome. This is that reminder that we are sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop to it and find out what good fortune is your glow up bringing. This is a part 2 to the gossip on your glow up. So if you haven't caught that, you can definitely go watch that whenever it suits you. And just knowing that this is a part 2 reading. So source for pile number 2, what good fortune is their glow up bringing? What messages do you have for us on pile number 2? What good fortune is their glow up bringing, Source? Okay, so we've got the first house. We've got Leo energy and Pluto. This is like transformation on a physical level as well as your approach. So being seen, like you're just more willing to go out and be in the spotlight. This is more than just confidence, because I feel like you're already a confident individual. Like you're very secure with your skin and yourself and who you are. And if not, then that is a part of the glow up for you. That's a good fortune that's coming, is being very comfortable in your skin. But what's really changing here is that you're learning how to dress for the way that you feel on the inside. It's more than name brands. Okay, this is like whatever it is that lets you express yourself and how you feel internally, you're finding how to express yourself externally with what it is that you're wearing. Even if that's as simple as jeans, some flip-flops, and a tank top, or jean shorts that are tore up, a wife beater shirt, and, you know, some chanclas, whatever it is. Right? It doesn't matter. Even if it's all tore up, like you're finding a way to experience who you are internally on the outside. And I know a lot of people are like, really, like wearing tore up clothes, how does that make you feel good? It has nothing to do with what the clothes look like, but everything to do with a deep internal expression. Like you're realizing, this is just how I express myself. Like I don't wear name brand clothes. Look, you know, I tell people, I myself am so strange, right? I'm not a girly girl. Like I never have been. I've always been a tomboy. And I used to wear jeans my whole life. And now as I've gotten older, I wear basketball shorts, men's basketball shorts. I wear finger toe shoes, right? The hippie shoes. And I wear tank tops everywhere. That's whether I'm going out somewhere fancy or if I'm going to the store, I wear the same thing everywhere I go. And that's just what is comfortable for me. It's how I feel comfortable about myself. It doesn't mean that I won't get dressed up. I will, but that's just me expressing myself. I like to be comfortable. Like that's how I feel good in my skin, is being comfortable. And so that's what it is. It's like you're feeling comfortable in your skin, but you're finding a way and a style of clothing that just really accentuates that. And it's like people don't notice what you're wearing because it's just letting you shine from the inside out. That's where the transformation comes. Some of you, it is going to be, I have to have my makeup done, my hair done, and my nails and my toenails done, and from head to toe wearing high brand clothes. Whatever it is, it's your style. Okay, know that that doesn't make it right for other people, and what other people wear doesn't make it right for you. You're finding what is right for you in this moment, and that's exactly what's coming. And that's what good fortune, your glow up, is bringing, is that however you are feeling and beginning to feel on the inside is beginning to be matched outwardly. And it starts with self, right? So it's going to be your appearance first here, but then through that, it's going to be the way that you appear in crowds and the way that you appear around others. So you're having a rebirth here of your energy. You may even go back to wearing the types of clothes that you wore when you were a kid. Like maybe had a time in your life where you were always wearing pantsuits or dress suits and had to get really dressed up, and you realized it was really stifling for you and you didn't like that. And so you could be reverting back to a more comfortable way of dressing. Like they keep showing me, it's something that makes you feel comfortable, okay? It's not about, it's like even if you get really dressed up, you do it because it's what you like to do. It's not because you have to impress anybody else. It's because this is what shines. This is how you shine, right? Like that's how you shine. And so that's what's coming with your glow up, is part of your good fortune is the ability to influence others basically based on the way that you dress. Like even people who have been really like all about name brands and just say like you don't wear name brands, like you're going to be influencing them to understand that it's so much more than the clothes that we have on our body. But it's because everything that you do right now is truly an extension of you. It's no longer about what society wants. It's truly an extension of you. And I feel like this is something that makes you feel really good too, because at one point in time you may have struggled with what everyone else felt about you, like how they viewed you or what they said about you. And you know, even if it wasn't that anybody necessarily said anything to you, it was just always on your mind. How do people see me? How are people gonna see me? Or, you know, this is so weird. I haven't even thought about this in years, but they're bringing up, like, my grandma always said, this is, and I know it sounds gross otherwise, but think about it. She always said, make sure you put on new underwear every day because you never know if you're going to go to the hospital that day. And that was always so weird for me. Like, that, just that saying, like, okay, like, you know, what happens if you just have a bad day and you just decide not to get out of your, you know, your old underwear? And I'm not trying to gross anybody out. Like, that's not what this is. It's just, like, that always was like, what? Okay, but no, I understand that now. Like, I understand that now. And that's what they're telling me. It's like, you're getting out of your old underwear. And that sounds so weird, but it's like, that's your old human suit is changing. Like, that's what's leaving. That's like you changing your underwear. It's so weird. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with it. Someone's gonna understand what I mean by that, and if not, maybe it'll make everyone else laugh, and that's cool. So, and maybe if you got grossed out by it, okay, well, sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry. But let's get some cards on it and find out what good fortune is. Wow, okay, is pile number 2's glow up bringing. And these cards just like flipped out. It got caught, and this one like slingshot over here and hit the camera. Okay, and don't trip about reversals. We're gonna find out what it is. So we have the Page of Coins in the reverse. This makes so much sense. So this is the energy with the 9 of Wands coming out here in the upright. We're talking about this energy, you letting go of being so conscious of the amount of money that your clothes cost, the amount of money that your car costs, the amount of money that your house costs. Like, you know, maybe for a time you were in this energy where it was like, or you worked for corporate world where you were constantly surrounded by people who were like this, where it was always about what everyone had, right? Like, oh my gosh, I just bought $100,000 car, like, look at me go, you know, or like, oh my gosh, these shoes just cost $600, you know. You could have even been in New York for some time. For some of you, that's a message coming in, but that's what your glow up is letting you let go of. It's like you were so unsure of yourself because of not being able to do some of the things that people did. Like, I can't buy a Gucci bag, or I can't even buy a real Michael Kors bag, you know, like I'm getting knockoff brands, and people are, you know, like that feeling of just because I got a knockoff brand, like, what are people who have real brands going to think of me? And it's like you're letting that go, whatever that is. And it's not even that you're superficial. It just really feels like this is something that someone instilled in you, or because you were around so many other people who were like this that it affected your mind state. And now your glow up is having you begin to see things differently outwardly. You're realizing that how people dress, or how people do their makeup, or how people do their hair, like, it is never ever the truth of who they are. It's literally a mask that so many people put on day to day to cover up their insecurities. And you realize that you were absorbing that energy. And so your glow up is letting you let that go, which is bringing you back to a more authentic version of yourself. But more than that, it's bringing you back to a more grounded in leadership. And so you're becoming someone who leads people away from that mind. You're becoming someone who leads people away from that idea that you are how you dress. No, you are who you are when you're authentic. It doesn't matter what you have on. You could have the world's nastiest ripped up clothes on, and if you're a good soul, you should be judged based on your soul, not by what you're wearing. And that's what you're teaching people here. Yeah, and this is something that was really, really affecting your life. So this could have been something that was put on you by your mother, or like your father, or like grandmother. Like, this is definitely an overbearing type mother energy in the reverse here with the Queen of Coins. But this could have been even a father who was a Capricorn, a Taurus, a Virgo, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, okay? Or a masculine in your life who was a a father figure that was like that. Just very much like, I have to keep up with the Joneses. If I don't keep up with the Joneses, then what are people going to think of me? If I don't do what I need to do, then, you know, like, people are going to think that I don't have anything, and it's all about the bank band in my pocket and this, that, and the other. And see how they're doing the same thing. They're focused on the coin, but for the future. This way of the reading is towards the future. And having this idea that, like, when you look at the page, you see how his feet here are open in this way. It's like having one foot in the past and one foot in the future, but never being present. And then you have the Queen of Coins here, and she's only facing towards the future. Like, it's like, I'm only taking action based on what past situations have had me in. It's like, I've been judged harshly because of what I wore. And it's like, you're helping a group, a community, become more aware of their soul than their physical, either their looks, how they look, or their physical dressing. Or it's like, you're so much more. Your heart means so much more than what your shell is. And that's what your glow up, the good fortune that your glow up is bringing. I feel like this may be something that you've struggled with. Yeah, this is something that's going to bring abundance of emotion to you. Like, you're going to feel so fulfilled, and I feel like you're going to actually get praised for this as well, like, where people are going to come through and be like, I'm so glad that you helped me understand that it was about so much more than what I was wearing, or what the kind of car that I drove, or, you know, like, you could be a minimalist even. That's coming through. Like, maybe you're choosing minimalist lifestyle where you got rid of everything except for the basic needs, and now it's like all your shirts are the same, all your pants are the same, all your underwear the same, all your socks are the same, all your bras are the same. Like, it's like you don't deviate from that. You may have one nice suit or one nice dress that you wear to go out, but other than that, you just show up in the same. Like, it's all very minimalistic shoes, minimalistic clothes, minimalistic lifestyle, and that's made you feel so happy and has been able to let you get in tune with yourself. And your glow up is part of inspiring others to embrace this same mind, this same style, this same type of thinking. And people are actually praising you on it. It was something that you had to start again. It was like you had to lose everything in order to understand that everything that you had meant nothing. So it's like you could have lost all of your physical material possessions. You know, like, you could have become homeless. And I'm so sorry if this is your story. But understanding that it's actually that process that you went through helped you change the way that you see the material world around you. And so it's not so much more about the material gain. It's about being taken care of. All of my basic needs are taken care of, then I'm okay. Like, I feel fulfilled as long as all my basic needs are taken care of. And so, yeah, we have the Five of Swords here in the upright. And the Judgment. This is an uncomfortable family secret that's being revealed here that you're letting go of. This is something that filled you with a lot of negativity towards yourself. You may have judged your value on what it was that you had coming into your bank account. So it's like, it didn't matter that all your bills were paid. It didn't matter that you had everything that you needed. It was like your family or someone. It could be just one person, right? It doesn't have to be your whole family. It could just be someone that you really looked up to in your family was really judgmental towards how much money you made and the cost of everything that you had in your life. And it's like, this is something that was really uncomfortable. And this is something that not everybody understood. It's like, when people saw this family or these family members, they really thought they were well off. But through understanding yourself, you recognize that they're just trying to cover up their biggest insecurities with themselves. Is that I'm filling this space of I'm not enough with stuff and hoping that one day I'll just magically, all this stuff will make me enough. And you're beginning to see how crowded their life is. And your glow up is moving you away from this. And it's beautiful here that we have the Five of Swords starting the reading, because this is like almost you beginning to realize this right now. It's something that's always been on your heart, but it's like really beginning to understand that your worth was never tied to the money that you made. Your worth was never tied to the amount of objects that you had in your life. It was never tied to your material belongings. That your worth was tied to your heart and the soul that is contained within this earthly vessel. And you're beginning to really understand that, and you've overcome all that negative mental chatter, and you're realizing now you're actually being able to see these people who were really harsh on you because they're so harsh on themselves. Like, you're beginning to see them with eyes of compassion, which is helping you to compassionately teach others how to let go of these beliefs and see themselves. And it doesn't necessarily have to be material. This could be anything really, but they keep giving me the example of materialism coming through here, and it's like, whatever it is though, it's a mindset that you're helping a lot of people relinquish and let go of and surrender to the divine and to source energy, to free themselves from what family has done, right? And this really feels like this is something that was weighed upon your shoulders from the ages of 9 until you were 20, where it was like you're really living on your own and still carrying that, still feeling like you were in that energy that you have to feel small because you didn't have everything that this person or these people had. But now you're actually, your glow up is bringing the realization of seeing, it's almost like it's switched, right? You flipped over and now you're seeing just how small they feel. Like, you're seeing that the gift that they gave you was truly understanding that everything that they believed in was nothing but an illusion. And that was a gift, right? Because it was like, for so long you believed in it, and for so long you fell into the illusion of it. And now you're seeing that, wow, that really was just an illusion that I was carrying that held no weight. But I felt like it did, because at one point, you really cared about what this family member thought of you. You really cared about what these family members thought of you. Okay, and family just being indicated here by the Judgment card. Okay, it doesn't have to be, this could even be friends, it could be a romantic partnership, it's just people that have been close in your life. We have the North Node coming out with Destined to Have. And that's what Source is showing here, like, your glow up is bringing in everything that you're meant to have. And it's interesting because I keep getting this energy of, it's like, when you let go of the idea of being like a multi-millionaire, then suddenly something happens where you become a multi-millionaire, but you still continue to be as humble as ever, because you recognize it was never about the money in the first place. I had to find the millionaire within, the light within, right? The abundance within. And through finding it within, it's like my whole outer realm changed. Like, transform, Pluto energy twice. This is a massive transformation that you're going through. This is an egoic death, that you're finding the freedom to take flight here. That you're finding the freedom that in the darkness you find the light, because you are the light. And that's so powerful, right? When you recognize the darkness that people put into your life was all but an illusion because you are the light, you become so much more powerful than those limiting beliefs and thoughts and those old patterns that kept you stuck in old habits. So on the bottom we have Bird of Paradise, displaying yourself to advantage. This is no time for false modesty. Exactly. Like, you recognize how amazing you are. And I love that, because it's an underlying message that was also in pile number 1. It's just understanding how incredible you are. And there's no need to be modest about it. And you're realizing that no matter what you wear, that doesn't actually account for how incredible you are. Right? That's just a shield. That's like your podium. They used to tell us when I used to be a trainer. And I had to train a whole bunch of people. And so they sent us away to learn how to train people for like a week and a half. We went to another state to learn how to train. And when we got there, I'll never forget, the guy was always telling me that I would rely on the podium to stand behind the podium so that I felt safe. And he's like, it's not just you. He's like, it's everybody in the class does this. And he's like, but when you're not behind the podium, your safety or your walking podium is that I would stamp my foot on the ground, and I didn't know. Right? And so it's almost like that. Like, you didn't know that when you walked away from the podium, you still had a safety podium, which was, I walked away from my family, which was the original podium, but I carried my family with me in thinking that my clothes were my podium now, and now they're not. Like, now you're freeing yourself from the restrictions. You see? Yeah, a spiritual connection, a relationship that has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. And thus you're manifesting the people who are meant to be in your life, okay? This is you inspiring many, many people. And it doesn't matter if it's 5 people or if it's 5 million people. You're inspiring people to become connected to their lives and to who they are. We have release with Jaguar and ritual with Bison. Yeah, so this is something you let go of. This is South Node energy. So we have like South Node energy with North Node energy, releasing that which is no longer serving you to come into what is rightfully yours. And it's all been through the way of rituals, like the things that you do to inspire yourself, to connect with your soul. Okay? Look, I cannot make this up. We have transformation on the bottom once again. So really, I'm going to tell you, if we were to knock down into one word of what your glow up, the good fortune it's bringing, is a transformation. That's the good fortune, is a transformation. And it's like, but why is a transformation a good fortune? Because it's changed, and it's changed for the better. Look, you're coming back to your innocence. Exactly. Something that was stolen from you as a child, like you're reverting back to that, realizing you can express yourself however you want to, you can be whoever you want to, and you can be whoever you were meant to be, right? And sometimes that gets confusing because it's like, well, if I can be whoever I want to, that means I can put back on the mask, right? You can absolutely do that, but what you're choosing to do instead is to sing your own song because you've changed your perspective on how you see yourself. Who cares that you're a bird? You're a bird that wants to play the flute. Go play the flute, honey. You'll figure it out. If that's what your dream is, you'll figure it out. It doesn't matter that you don't have fingers. Shoot, you got a beak, you can blow, and you got some claws. You'll figure it out. That's what I'm saying. Like you're learning how to express yourself the way that works for you and not what everybody has convinced you had to be. Magic works through you. Yeah, you're someone who's here to inspire others. To inspire others before you leave this realm. And you're doing a good job of it so far. And so part of the good fortune is going to be people who trust you, people who come to you for advice, people who come to you because they see that you've overcome so much. Illumination. Something hidden is coming to light now. You find out about new job opportunities and options. Someone lends you a helping hand. And this is what you're doing for others. You're illuminating them. You're illuminating the path. Didn't I say that? Like, you're no longer afraid of the darkness because you recognize that you are the light. Let's get a shadow aspect for your reading. Thank you. Neglect. Not paying attention to what's important. Decide what's truly worth spending time on. And isn't this interesting? Because it's like spending has been the whole thing of this reading. Spending money, though. And here we have spending time on. And spending money is like spending your time. Yes, you can earn money back, but we can't earn time back. That's something that we spend. And once we spent it, like, it's gone. It's cashed out. That's it. It'll never come back around. And so you're learning what's more important here through the neglect that you experienced as a child. Flamingo, nourish your soul and you will survive harsh circumstances. And again, this idea of standing out, right? Flamingos are so beautiful. And it's interesting because I recently learned, I went to the aquarium nearby where I'm at, and flamingos are so loud. Oh my goodness. They love to talk and talk and talk. They are so loud. And I was asking the lady who was watching over them, I was like, is it true that flamingos are pink because they eat shrimp all the time and shrimp are pink? And she says, yeah, there's some protein that they're absorbing that makes them pink. It makes them stand out so bright. But isn't it interesting, because flamingos are very bright birds. Like, you can't miss a flamingo when you see them. And they come in different shades of pink, and that's because the different types of shrimp that they eat. And so it's like interesting, but that's what's nourishing your soul, is that you survived harsh circumstances, and realizing that you're not a product of your harsh circumstances. You get to choose what you're a product of, and that's a product of your learning, your observations, your perspective. Romance, lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. You're learning how to love yourself, which is teaching you how to deeply love others. And so with this spiritual connection card, you could very well be calling in the love of your life, a soulmate, okay? It doesn't have to be, but for some, it is a soulmate coming in. Vulnerability. Look at that. With childhood innocence, like, this is like you coming back to a very vulnerable time in your life, realizing that it's okay for you to be vulnerable. It's okay for you to let your heart be worn on your sleeve. Again, it's not about what you wear or what you look like. It's about the heart that you hold within this vessel, the soul that is residing within this vessel. And that's exactly what's being shown here. That's why you've got both of these cards coming out for you here. Wisdom. You are called to serve as a mentor for someone, or as a role model and guide who can show the way. Use your wisdom and experience. I love that. I love that that came out, because that's exactly what it was. You're here to illuminate them, and to show them that it's so much more than these material things that so many people put value on, right? And then we have burned. You've been hurt before, so it's hard for you to trust. Let someone in and love again. And you're letting go of those hurts and those pains of the past, so that you can have what you've been destined to have, and let yourself stand out. You're recognizing it's okay for me to stand out. It's okay for me to be seen. Let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. Hope. I love this. Look, the light and the dark. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Source. I love this. I love this so much. Oh, I don't know why I don't bring these cards out more often, but I'm glad that I do. All right, so let's read this. Beyond the passing dark clouds, the sun still shines bright. I cannot make this up. Thank you so much, Source. Feeling overwhelmed, disconnected, afraid, and defeated are a few of the symptoms you can experience when passing through an emotional storm. All is not as it seems. The passing storm will uncover suppressed emotional energy that is in need of clearing and balancing. As challenging as it may seem, see the passing gray clouds as an opportunity to grow, learn, heal, and transform limiting behavioral patterns and beliefs. It is not about staying positive through the storm. It's about understanding and truly seeing the imbalances and wounds within you that attracts this energy to your space. Clouds do pass and will continue to pass until you learn to truly see the underlying message and lesson. Only then will you transcend the fear and irritability of those challenging cycles. Once you are able to understand your magnetic connection to the challenges that surround you and heal those imbalances with love, storms will cease to affect you as they once did. For now there is stillness and hope in knowing that the sun still shines bright behind the passing dark clouds. It is then, through this renewed clarity, inner knowing, and strength, that you will be able to manifest a life of choice. For no more will you see passing storms as destructive forces to be reckoned with, but rather an opportunity to evolve to a higher states of consciousness, understanding. It is through this act alone that you are reborn to a world of wondrous manifestations and fulfilled dreams. This is associated with the sacral chakra, and the prayer here is, Holy Spirit, please guide me to see this situation with deeper clarity, love, and understanding. Oh, I love this. I love this for you. This is such a beautiful message. Again, you're the light in the dark, and that's what you're understanding here. And you're understanding that it's so much more than the outward vessel that we see, that you are so much more than how hard you've been on yourself, how much you've judged yourself based on the past. You're truly embodying and embracing the soul within, and you're standing out. You're standing out in the world. And that's so powerful. So this is what I see for you, pile number 2. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a little flamingo emoji down below and say, allow myself to stand out based on my soul, knowing that I deserve to be seen. Leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I want to take a quick second to thank your guide, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful seashell, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on what good fortune is your glow up bringing. First and foremost, I do want to say thank you so much to those of you that continue to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for those of you new, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Remember that these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what does not. Make sure you do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you are interested in supporting it further, you will find all the links necessary to do so below in the description box. You can email me for personal reading and I'll get you out further information from there. You can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is on Spotify. And if you're interested in becoming a member, the link down below will lead you to the page that shows all the options available, as well as what comes with each option. So I do hope to see you over on memberships. If not, thank you for your continued support here. And with that being said, let us go ahead and hop to it and find out what good fortune is pile number 3's glow up bringing, source. What messages can you tell to us here? What good fortune is pile number 3's glow up bringing them? What good fortune is pile number 3's glow up bringing, source? Okay, so we've got the first house, Capricorn energy, and Mars. You are changing the way that you are working towards your goals. I feel like before it was definitely mundane. Like just doing the grunt work, right? Like this is like just going in, day out, doing the grunt work, like hoping it's going to get you somewhere. And like always wondering, is that really what's going to get me to where I'm going, right? Like I've been doing this for so long. I've been showing up and putting in the effort for so long. And you're definitely dedicated, right? You are a very hard worker. You are determined. And this is what you have as a reputation everywhere in your life. Like you show up. You're someone who shows up. This is who you are. You show up. But what's shifting is the way you show up. It's not that you're going to be any less dedicated. It's almost like this is a work smarter, not harder type of energy. Like you're learning how to plan out your day and schedule events and projects and things that you need to get done. And in learning how to schedule them out, you're becoming a leader in your industry, in your business, and in whatever it is that you're doing. You're becoming a leader, like really stepping up into leadership energy. Like this is like leading by example. Like, sure, I tell everybody to plan, but I'm a terrible planner. You're like, no, I tell everybody to plan, and now I have an effective plan set in place to get me to where I'm going. Like, sure, I tell everybody to show up and be consistent, and you were halfway consistent, right? Like doing it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and now you're doing it Monday through Friday and saying like, I am consistent and I show others that I'm consistent. That's the type of energy that you're leaving. It's like leaving the grunt work and just like being like overwhelmed by the grunt work and really beginning to embrace the process and embrace the here and the now and the journey that is before you, and realizing that every moment of the day is an opportunity that brings you closer to realizing your dreams, and that is actually through you showing up. Like if I don't show up, how can I ever realize my dreams? If I don't do what's necessary of me, how can I ever realize my dreams? And so you're really leaning into this energy of becoming your dreams right now. And that's your glow up. Like your glow up is this, you're stepping into the energy so that you're getting ready to receive that from source. You're getting ready to receive all your blessings, all your gains, all your abundance from source. And you are being seen as someone who aggressively goes towards what it is that they want. Very ambitious. And others are getting inspired by that, but it's just becoming who you are. This is who you are now. Like, I was that then, and this is who I am now. That's the type of energy. So that's the good fortune that your glow up is bringing, is helping you step up into a true position of leadership. It's like, whereas you may own your own business and you're like, I'm already a leader, but you may not have been as consistent as you would have liked, or as organized as you would have liked. And now that's shifting. Like, you're realizing, like, I really have to get my P's and Q's in order so that I'm set. Like, I don't have to worry about what if. I know exactly what will happen. I know exactly how things are playing out in my day-to-day. I know every moment of your day. You might have an itinerary where everything is scheduled, and you might not have a lot of free time. But it's like, whereas before you were kind of scared about not having that free time, now it's more or less like you schedule in play and pleasure, so that way then when free time does come, like, it's literally just a relaxation point for you, where you're not like, oh, how do I add play into my life? Like, you scheduled that already. So it's like every day you're scheduling play, every day you're scheduling pleasure, like every day you're scheduling work, every day you're scheduling meditation, every day you're scheduling workout. Like you really truly have your itinerary for each day, and that's helping take you to the next level, which is like leading by example. So let's shuffle. I don't know why I was doing that, but okay, we're going to shuffle. I have to fold up the mat here, so you might see it. Let's get some tarot on it. So, Source, what good fortune is pile number 3's glow up bringing? What good fortune is pile number 3's glow up bringing? What good fortune is pile number 3's glow up bringing? What good fortune is pile number 3's glow up bringing? Okay, thank you. What good fortune is pile number 3's glow up bringing them, Source? Okay, thank you. Yeah. Against all odds, like, this has been a long time. You've been doing it for a long time, right? It just feels like the monotony. What good fortune... Okay, thank you. Yeah. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the 7 of Wands in the upright. It's interesting we would get the 7 of Swords and the 7 of Wands. Very similar energy, right? But one is in mind state and the other is in the actions you take. Perseverance really is the key of these cards, of both of these cards. Letting go of control. Really, really letting go of this anxiety that you feel when it comes to building something. Like before, it's almost like you were conforming to what everyone else said. It's like, oh my gosh, you have to work so hard to get there. And you're recognizing that the more that you spend on play and pleasure and scheduling that into your day-to-day, the quicker you're getting to where you want to go. And you're realizing that negativity hasn't helped you, it's only hindered you. And so your glow up is really bringing, and that's kind of been a deciding factor against all 3 readings, or for all 3 readings, I should say, is a perspective shift. But for you, it's recognizing that what society told me was going to get me to monetary success, material success, success in the physical realm, is something I thought I could control. And this is what you're actually overcoming, is this thought process. So we have 7788. I would look up that number for you to deepen the meaning of this reading. 7788, okay? But here you have, you're letting go of karmic beliefs, karmic patterns, karmic actions, and karmic ways to control the physical realm, and coming more so into your mindset and taking action based on how you feel, and realizing that if you don't feel good, that your manifestations are going to mirror that, right? And so we have, look, the 3 of Swords. Yeah, this has been all, yeah. Something is falling apart here. Right? Something is falling apart so you can fall into a rhythm for yourself. And this is something that Source has ordained. You're getting help from Source with the 3 of Swords here. This is something that's outside of your control, really. Right? It is. But you've worked really hard on getting to where you're going. And sometimes we can only do so much before we need our angels and our guides and source to come in and give us that like little leg up that we need to. But this is something that was hard for you, right? Like it's realizing that following the pattern of everyone else was leading to failure. Like, oh, if I work extra hard here, if I work extra hard there, like I'm going to have success. And it's like the harder you worked, it felt like the more overwhelmed you were, and the more you would draw away from success. And now it's like you're starting to work less but accomplish more. So again, that idea, working smarter, not harder. Like that's the energy that's coming through here. It's like you're beginning to work way smarter. You're spending less time stressing, and it's just like what you produce is what you produce, and you're happy with it. And it was kind of a shock for you. This is like a collapsing of a trusted structure. Like the Eight of Coins energy is coming back here, right? And it's like everybody said this is the only way to be successful. And it's like you may have followed people who in the past were very successful at working 12 hours, 14 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 15, 16, 20 years. And you're like year 3 and already like falling and tripping over your feet. Like, how the heck am I going to carry this on for another potentially 17 years? Like, there's no way. You know, and maybe that was something that they were able to accomplish then, but you're recognizing that this is something that's just hindering your process and your progress for yourself. And so you're really stepping up into the true meaning of being a leader. I'm going to show people that they don't have to break their backs to get to where they want to go. And that's what your good fortune is teaching you how to work smarter. You're working smarter, working less, and achieving more. And this is a gift from Source. Like with the Three of Swords here at the center of the spread, you see that this is a gift from Source. This is help from the divine. This is help from God, from the universe, from the gods, the goddesses, from your angels, your guides, whatever it is you believe in. It's like this is them coming in and saying, let us help you get rid of this belief and show you, but you have to trust us. And that was something I feel like was really hard, or is going to be really hard for you to do, because of being so grounded in the belief that working harder is the only way for me to succeed. And recognizing that no, that's not really the only way for you to succeed. It is a way to succeed, but there's actually more to life than spending 19 hours a day at work while you don't get to live. We want you to live, and we want you to be comfortable enough so that you can live, but help us get you to that point. You know, like, let us help you get to that point. Let us help you get out of the mind of feeling like you have to put in so much work, and bring you into a belief of being centered and grounded within your abilities and yourself to get there by doing what's necessary, not what you believe has to be done, but what is necessary to fulfill the requirements. So it's almost like doing the bare minimum, but with the bare minimum, you're putting out the quality of work, right? So this is quality versus quantity. That's the energy. That's kind of weird, because this really feels like a slap in the face. That's what this feels like to me. It feels like a slap in the face. Like you've been really working hard, and it's like I really thought I was already putting out quality work. But it's like when you slow down, you begin to recognize that, wow, like it's not that it wasn't quality work. It's just that it could have been even more quality without me stressing so much about it. And I feel like there's going to be the slap in the face comes when it's like you may recognize that you may have missed out on a lot of opportunities with people and time with people. And that sounds really depressing right now, but it's what actually helps you embrace this change that you resisted for so long. This is something you resisted. You were like, no. It's like something that's been on your heart, and it's been something your intuition's been telling you, but for some reason you've been in this mindset like, no, that's not how everybody else became successful. Like, look at these people. And it's like you're trying to mirror people who maybe online, maybe it's an online business, and you're trying to mirror what you think they're doing, right? and you're like trying to do your best to copy these modalities. You're trying your best to show up the same way that they show up, and it's like you actually don't know their method. It's just kind of like you're putting in examples of their method, or you're following someone that you read, or that's what it really feels like here. It's like you've learned this from somewhere. This could have even been from parents. This could have been when you were a child. You know, like if you can't do, like no one can do anything right, so you just might as well do it yourself type energy here. But with the Tower in reverse, this really does feel like Source is just slapping you across the face, like wake up. And it's not a bad thing. I don't want you to feel like, oh geez, here we go, another ridiculous moment with the House of God. Like no, it's just Source is just trying to wake you up from this belief and this pattern that's been holding you back. You've been exhausted. You've been overworked and underpaid. You have gone to the limits for the position and the life and the dreams that you want. You have really proved that this is where you want to put your energy, your time, and your effort. And Source says, I get you and I believe you. I believe this is where you want to be at. And now I need you to trust me when I say you do not have to work yourself to death to try and get what you want. Nor do you have to be afraid that you're not going to get it here. And that's what we see with the Mind cards here, with the 7 and the 3 of Swords. It's like you're exhausted emotionally. You've been through a lot of anguish with this situation, but you still show up because you feel the calling. And it's like it's been very, very difficult. It's just been a very difficult process for you. I'm always wondering, like, when's it going to be my turn? When's it going to be my time to shine? When am I going to have my glow up? And Source is trying to bring you into a place of rest. So you might actually be dealing with body pains. You might actually be dealing with some health issues, like your body physiology might be changing right now. And it's forcing you to slow down, and it's just frustrating you. And Source is saying to let go of the frustration and come into a place of really, truly allowing yourself to embrace this idea that sometimes less is more. That is a real thing, and that can be a real thing in your life too. That's not just, oh, that's only for other people. Like, no, that's for everyone, right? And it's like this is causing a lot of chaos and confusion, and it's a difficulty in understanding what's really going on. Like, why is it that when I feel like I'm getting into a rhythm, that it seems like everything begins to fall apart? Why is it that when I really am like motivated to do a lot that day, like as soon as I get done with one really big project and I go into starting another one, like I suddenly lose all of my energy. Like I have no energy to give, and I literally have to go close my eyes, otherwise I'm going to fall over. That's the type of energy here. And it's like you still keep pushing yourself, and it's just so you begin to learn. I struggle with this too. You're not alone. Like I struggle with this too, but it's just something that you learn on the manifestation journey, that the more that we push our manifestations away from us. We're trying to magnetize our manifestations to us, which means that we have to let go of the masculine energy and really step into the receptive energy. And it's like finding a good balance between the two, and that's exactly what it feels like here. Source is just trying to help you walk away from taking actions based out of fear that you're not going to build something stable or have structure in your life, because everybody that you've ever known that's ever maybe owned their own business or that's been in the business that you've had to has convinced you along the way or helped you believe this illusion that I have to work until I've worked my hands to the bones, you know. I see somebody with just blood coming off their fingers. This is so morbid, and I'm not trying to be morbid, but it's like blood coming out of their fingers just from paper cuts. Like I see people like who are weathered, like spending so much time out in the sun trying to get the farm taken care of or whatever it is. And it's like, whatever the situation is, it's like you're just overworking yourself to the point where you're not showing up as your best. And it's like, Source is like, I gave you a talent, I gave you a skill, I gave you a gift. And the only way for you to ever let that gift shine is if you let that gift shine by giving yourself time to rest, time to pull back, time to really just absorb this energy that I'm trying to bring to you. Okay. And Source is pointing, this is a message direct from Source here. But the good fortune is that you will do this. Okay. You will do this. And that in doing so, you're going to begin to understand how to magnetize your manifestations to you. And you're going to stop giving so much of yourself to something, even though it's something that you love. Like it's like it can still wear you out, right? If too much of anything is a bad thing, and it doesn't matter. You know, it was weird. I was watching this show. My family had the show on the last night, and I think it's called Royal Pains. And they were doing an eating contest, and you know, one of the girls on there, she's a professional eater for eating contests, and you know, they eat massive amounts of food, and so everybody was training, and they were taking weeks to train, and during that week, like, they have to drink a lot of water. It's like they eat 40 wings and then they drink a gallon of water, and it's like, it was so weird because one of the guys got sick, and he was drinking so much water that his liver, it was either his liver or his kidneys were beginning to turn toxic. And he's like, but it's just water. And it's like, that's what he said. He's like, yeah, but too much of anything can still be a bad thing. And that's something I'd heard years and years and years ago, right? And so it was just so funny that that was reiterated last night on this, but that's exactly what it is. Even water can be harmful to us, right? So imagine if water, which is actually really good for us and for our bodies, it can still be harmful for us if we do it in too much, right? Too much at a time. And that's the same thing here. It's like, this is good for you, what you're doing, because it's letting you express your soul, but still too much of it is still a bad thing, right? So it's like finding balance. We have Uranus here with radically change. So there's a huge change with the way, oh, okay, they want it over here, my bad. There's a huge change that's coming here with the way that you're going to do things. Look, I can't make this up. We have trine with angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. I'm going to pull this out because this is, again, a message of source. This is you getting guidance from beings outside of you, right? From guidance outside of us. Or internally. It just depends on how you see it, okay? But it's like angelic support. That's exactly what it is. You're getting support from source. You're getting support from your angels. You're getting support from your guides. Like, you're not, this is not something that's going to come from another person. This is not something that's going to come from a mistake. This is something that's coming as a guidance, a download, okay? Peacock, resist the alluring spell of those who would deceive in business or love. Exactly. You don't have to be like everyone else. That's not why you're here. You're here to help change the ideas that people hold when it comes to being successful. You're doing an amazing job. Like, you're stepping up, right? Look, spend quality time together. Listen and talk to each other, right? This is more than love. Okay, this is not love coming through here depicted on this card, even though it is. But we have 46, which is 10 in numerology. This is the completion of a cycle for you. You're ending this cycle, but spending quality time with yourself. Like, learning that quality time is so much more valuable than spending so much time working all the time. Like, you could be a workaholic, okay? Like, they're really pointing that out. Remember, workaholic is still an addiction. It's pouring into something that we think is good for us, but too much of anything is a bad thing, okay? On the bottom, we have get to know each other, learn to meet another's need for love. And we have 44 here, which is a master number. And I feel like this is just showing you find strength, structure, and stability, getting to know your family, getting to know your friends, finding your soul tribe. Most importantly, getting to know yourself, learning to meet your needs, your wants, and your desires for love. I feel like you're disconnected from yourself, and this just can't, like doing this keeps you running away from yourself, and so your good fortune is coming back and understanding yourself a lot better. This is where you're going to find power. Number 11 here. This is spiritually guided, right? Source is going to help you open up to this. What's peaking? Yeah, where you're finding your happiness. You're finding happiness. It's more than about being successful. It's about finding happiness and fulfillment. And you may have come from another pile. And as always, if you watched all three piles, leave a purple heart down below. It's specifically for those of you that watch all three piles. And just say I made it. I know what that means. And I really do appreciate you giving me the time. Yeah, this is about you drawing back and finding sanctuary. This is healing karmic wounds. This is something that was passed on to you from your parents, from your grandparents, that belief that like you have to carry everything on your shoulders, that no one's going to help you, or there's not going to be time for rest. Like those people that always say, well, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Like that kind of always makes me think of there's something that needs to be healed there, because rest is vital to our functions as human. Like it's vital. And it's like, you know, it's just something that we're designed that way for purpose. Like there's a reason that Source made us so that we would go to sleep, right? Like there's a reason for that. There is literally, I have to say this, there's a Greckle out right by my door. Well, not my door, my window. Okay, they just flew off. There was a male and a female. And the Greckles, they blow up kind of like blowfish, and they make this really high-pitched squeak noise. And they use it to intimidate other birds. It's really funny. But that's exactly what he was doing. He was intimidating the little female bird until she flew off. And that's so symbolic to what we were talking about here. It's like this intimidating masculine action, go, 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 go kind of energy is intimidating to the feminine receptive energy. And so the feminine receptive energy just flew away. She's like, fine, I'm out, bye. And that's kind of what it is. It's like being in a toxic masculinity and not being able to receive that which is yours. And that's what's being shifted here for you. That's the good fortune, is being able to receive fully what is yours. We have starfish spirit with open to the infinite possibility. Yeah. Open to what could be. Not what you know, but what could potentially be. And set healthy boundaries. And sometimes, you know, pile 3, sometimes we have to set healthy boundaries with ourselves. Like sometimes that means, hey, look, you kind of have overstepped your own boundaries. Like you need to begin to set boundaries with yourself too. They say maybe instead of spending, you know, 12 hours a day at work, like can you do more quality fulfilled work in 8 hours, even if you're owning your own business? Like that's something to think about. Can you spend less time and pump out more quality, right? Burned, you've been hurt before, so it's hard for you to trust. Let someone in love again. Yeah, so you could be calling in love with this as well. Your glow up could be calling in love, but I feel like for most of you, wow, fast changes fell out of the deck here. You're leaving a job suddenly or getting one very quickly. Your work may change dramatically in a short time. Go with the flow. Radically change. So I feel like there is a change that's coming in here where it's like you're really going to have to take care of yourself, because you're either going to blow up to the fact that it's like, well, I could get so caught up in work that I don't have any time for myself, right? And that's why it's setting healthy boundaries. Like it's important to take care of your clients, but how are you going to take care of your clients if you're sick all the time, or if you're injured all the time, or if you don't have the energy to deal with them, you know? And that's what they're talking about. Wish come true. Your wish is being granted, but it may not come in the way you expect it. No worries. It's just what you need. So you have a wish coming true here, okay? Like you're going to get everything that you wanted. And that's why it's so important. And I feel like that's what the set healthy boundaries, it really is about you setting healthy boundaries for yourself. Like saying, what is acceptable for my time? Like, you know, I think about it. If you're in the psychic world, like if you have a spiritual gift and you use that with people, it's like so much of the time you can overgive yourself. And then when you have clients who come in who really need you to be there for them, and you've given your energy away to all the stuff that is just kind of like lower priorities, you know, you don't have the opportunity to be there for the higher priority things. And that's something I've experienced. That's something I've noticed a lot of people who are psychically gifted experience just in general. And so that could be just saying like you're just overwhelming yourself to the point that you don't have the opportunity to be fully present when you're needed. Honey Guide, benefit from the harvest of knowledge and sustenance that cooperation brings. Yeah, again, this idea, you do not have to carry this on your own. And Source is really trying to be a guide here for you, letting you know that you can lean on Source. News, right? There's news about change. Number 23 is 5. And 5 is a very uncomfortable place of change, but there's definitely news coming in here, okay? News is coming. There's something that's going to help you, like, understand that it's okay for me to draw back. I'm not going to lose anything here. A lot of Aquarius energy out on the table as well. We have cloud shape-shifting, so something's definitely shifting. This is also talking about the way that you, your appearances, like your appearances are shifting, and the way that you express yourself is shifting. And I feel like it's for the better, okay? Vision quest again, source coming in. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you guidance. But if you're too busy to receive my guidance, then I'll just let you stay busy and I'm not going to give it to you. And it's like, it's nothing mean. It's not source being like, well, this is your punishment for being too busy. It's just, it's like source is always going to be there to give us our guidance when we're ready to listen. But if we're going 90 miles an hour, 1,000 miles an hour, how are we ever going to find space and time to listen? The shadow aspect, flighty. Yep. Not knowing what you're going to do next causes you anxiety. Find love you can count on. Not knowing what they're going to do next causes you anxiety. It's interesting I said you're going to do next, because I feel like that's exactly it. It's like going 1,000 miles an hour is a way for you to run away from yourself. And we said that earlier, right? So that causes anxiety. And so that's what's happening, is this is shifting. And it's like when you finally let source in, when you let your intuition work for you, when you let your guides and your angels come in, you're going to get all the answers to the questions that you've been asking. Like, am I going to be successful? And they're going to be like, yeah. Do I have to work as hard as I'm working? No. Like, you're going to be like, oh, okay. Like, I probably should have stopped a long time ago. But you don't know until you know, right? Reflection. It's time to revisit the past and figure out what you want to do. Knowing what you don't like will show you what you truly love. It's time to reflect on yourself and your actions here, okay? So this is the good fortune, is the shift is going to help you slow down, okay? Like, that's going to help you. And I feel like somebody just, finally, okay. Like, I felt that. Wow. It was so strong. Let's go ahead and take a look at your cosmic soul card. I'm going to read this from the book, Walk Your Truth, number 35, which is 8. 8 is all about letting go of the karmic things that hold us back. And I believe this is actually the last card. Oh, no. It's almost the last card. It's the second to last card in the deck. This is a 36 card deck. I like the bigger ones, but, you know. It says, walk your truth. See your light. Know your power. Have the courage to walk your truth. True empowerment comes from walking, living, and speaking your truth. Having the courage to be guided by your heart and follow your dreams. Don't be afraid to shine your magnificent light as a result of the opinions and judgments of others. Yes, you might be ridiculed, scorned, and your choices mocked with disapproval, but understand this, dear one. Others mock and criticize from a place of fear within them. A fear that keeps them trapped in a repetitious wheel of illusion. By breaking free and walking the true path of your heart, you step off the merry-go-round of this cyclic pain and leave the ones who scorn behind. Don't be surprised when others do everything and anything to discourage you from walking this path of the heart. In time, those that ridiculed and judged you will be inspired by your courage and ability to stand strong. They will gravitate towards you like moths into a flame with hunger to know your secret. Your light will shine so bright that it will inspire others to find the courage within them to also follow their heart and true calling. By walking your truth, you connect to the highest powers of love and enter the amazing world of manifestation. Stand strong during this testing time and stay true to your heart. You are not alone during this process of having to defend your reasons and beliefs. Synchronistic events will bring you the right people and conditions to encourage you on this chosen path. You're being guided by the Holy Spirit of love, so stay strong. A positive outcome is assured. And the affirmation is, I am guided by the universal spirit of love as I follow my heart in all that I do. And this is connected with the heart and the throat chakra. So it's powerful, right? Like, walking in your truth. Like, let me just ask you this, Pile 3. When you started this, was your goal to work as hard as you are now? And when you answer that honestly, that will help you begin to unravel why you're holding on to old beliefs and patterns that aren't serving you, right? You're doing what you're meant to be doing. You are walking and being authentic in your truth, but what's coming out is not being authentic and walking in the truth of how you show up to work. And when you run away from yourself, you run away from your authenticity. And when you believe that you have to fit into somebody else's version of what work is, i.e., the harder I work, the further I go, the less you give yourself an opportunity to truly embark on and manifest this idea of the whole reason I started my own business, or the whole reason I got into this was so that I could make more and earn less, because that's really what it feels like. So this is what the good fortune is that's coming because of your glow up, is the realization of how you really want to show up and the type of person you want to be when you show up, which is pushing you into leadership status here with the Mars, and not fighting so hard to be seen, but rather being seen based on your ability to help lead and guide others. Okay, so this is what I see for you here. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a little mirror emoji down below and say, by observing myself and what I truly want, I learn how to show up in a true leadership position. Leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this amazing message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.